Today's episode is sponsored by Sips of the Father, sippy cups for men, and all your sippy cup needs. Hey guys, welcome back to Dirk's Movie Files and another project. Today's project, Jason Voorhees, the underwater version. Alright, so we got this print. I saw it and I thought it was really cool. Saw some people doing it and I just had to have it myself. It's Jason Voorhees. I think it's from Jason Lives, is the series. I haven't watched all of them. I watched the original one and that's as far as I go. Usually these slasher shows, it's the original and I'm done. But I still really dig the character and stuff like that. But I found this online. It's on Cults 3D. And I got this from the HobbyLink International website. But I will put the links below if you're interested. I printed this in the one-piece version. You can either get it broken down into, I think, 3 parts per. Jason, the chain, and then the rock, the block, whatever you want to call it. And it comes in 2 different versions. You got this one where he's kind of looking down. And then you got this one here where he's kind of looking up. I made them, I put it on my slicer, I made it to the max. That puts him at 10 inches tall. I think it looks pretty cool. So we got 2 of them. I decided why not print 2 of them out, because what we'll do is we'll paint one and the other one we'll give away. Just because we're nice like that, right? But anyway, this is it. It's really a cool thing. I mean, for the most part, it's soft on the details if you think about it, but then again, it's him in the water for some time now, from what I understand. As you can see, there's a little bit of difference. He's full of supports. He is not. I left the supports here that are holding him up by his feet because, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that this chain is going to hold him. That really scares me. So I'm going to have to figure out. I guess we'll just take supports off slowly but surely and see what happens and see if it does support it. The chain is a little wiggly. And then we'll get him painted up and we'll display him. I don't see this taking a lot of time. There's not going to be a lot of detail painting because, again, he's underwater, so there's a lot of muted colors and blacks, browns, that kind of stuff like that. Nothing should be really sharp and vivid. The thing that I'm still up in the air about is how to display him. I don't want to put him just on the desk like this. Okay, it's not really going to work for me. Plus, I just can't imagine with the bumping and everyday grind of a workbench that this chain will not, if it happens to support him, will not last long and then just break. So I'm thinking, do I submerge him encase him in resin? I've been toying with the idea of doing that for quite some time. I've watched dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos, and I really think I know how to do it. I just got to buy the resin. But the thing with that is, one, it's expensive. I mean, the resin for this would be probably around $70 or so, I think. And of course, there's a chance of a foul up, and it gets messy as it leaks all over your desk, floor, and everywhere. And then the other thing is, suppose I just put them in water, period. If I was to get a cylindrical glass piece and just fill it with water and just put them in there, way down the block so it stays at the bottom. Display, the rest of the floor, display it like sand or something like that. I don't know. But the first thing is going to have to be to get these supports off and see if the chain supports them. I'm not thinking it's going to. Alright, so we're back with our Jason build. As you can see, we got a little progress here. I removed all of the supports. And yeah, that chain is not going to hold him up. Plus, it's off-centered. There's no way it's going to fall back, even if it was stiff enough. But it's not the end of the world. Obviously, we had to remove the supports so we could paint him. but at the same time, it's really slowing us down a little bit because we have to be really careful to not break the chain. That's what, at least what I'm trying to do. The method I decided to go with us on this, I don't know if it's, I'm not really a figure painter. As much as I do like doing figures, I would never consider myself a figure painter. What I decided to do is do most of this in dry brushing because, you know, I want he's underwater. None of the colors would be, you know, stark and bright and precise. So I painted him in black primer paint actually, and then I started going through with all these paints up here. Going through and doing some coloring. I started with the block and made the base coat with a dark charcoal that I have, one of my favorite charcoal colors. Where is it here? Not that matters, but it's a dark charcoal. It's just called charcoal. And it's somewhere around here. Oh, is this it? Nope, that's not it. That's a light one. Yeah, here we go. So Ceramcoat has this one. It's just called charcoal. And then Anita's has this one called charcoal. And they are absolutely two different colors. This is almost black. I love this on my chassis of my cars because I think black is too stark. So this makes it, I think, a lot better. And then this is a lighter one, very much like, well, as you can see here, dripping down. It is definitely a grayer one. So I used my makeup brush, like you saw in one of the recent projects that we had, and just dry brushed the dark charcoal on there first, and then we went in with some light charcoal around the edging, okay, and then we went in with, I believe it was this Deco Art Hauser medium green, and we did some little bit of moss buildup around it, and then I went in with a Q-tip and some water and just cleaned up a little bit on the middle of the blocks to bring back out the charcoal, just to create the contrast a little bit. So that's just a couple passes of that, but it's looking cool. Then I started working on him. Again, I wanted to use the dry brush method using this in order to not cover everything, let the black kind of show through. And I went with a olive green for his shirt, and I went for a gray. I forget which gray I used. So many different colors here. I think it was this, no, that's not it. No, yeah, it was it. Medium, Folk Art medium gray for his pants. And then I used this nutmeg for his boots. And all this, even though I wasn't going for a stark look, like real definitive color variations, I got it right now. But the hopes and dreams are when I'm done painting all the individual parts, which next will be his hands, or all his skin color. So his hands, partial of his arm on this side, his neck and the back of his head will be done. Then his mask, and then give it a wash, and that'll really blend it all together and mute it out a little bit. So that's where we are with him. But yeah, it's coming along. It's, like I said, it just takes time because I have to be very careful in not breaking that chain. And here's a cool thing. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but if you look on the back of his shirt, you have to be careful when you're removing the supports, because look, he's got these tatters of his shirt hanging down. You don't want to cut those off. I think that adds character to the figure. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, look, my hand. Can't see anything. Woo! Anyway, that's where we are with this right now. Not really much, but we're getting there. One of the things I would like to do, see if I can get you in again closer, is if you look, without blurring out too much, if you'll notice his mask, you could see the holes in his mask, but they're not very prominent. I think they should be a little bit more prominent. As soon as I could find what the hell I did with my circuit board drills, I want to go and drill them out, make them a little bit more prominent. I just think that'll add a cool feature, because his mask is one of the coolest features of this character, right? That's why everybody loves him, is his mask. So, yeah. So hopefully I can find my drills, we'll drill those out, make it a little bit more gooder, and go from there. So, anyway, that's it for now. See you in a little bit. Okay, so here we are with Jason. Our glass container finally came in. That means we can finish up the detail painting. I should have had the painting done already by now, but we're going to finish up the detail painting, do a clear coat to seal all this acrylic stuff in. We're going to do a wash on him, and then we're going to get him in here. And the cool thing is, he does fit. So we just take him, drop him in. He fits, but he doesn't look right. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get him more to stay on axis, kind of like that. Does that make sense if you can see that there, as opposed to staying like that? Maybe a clear acrylic rod or something? I don't know. We'll have to see. Now, to do this, what I have in mind, as much as I've been reading up and I think I'm ready, but I'm not ready to do a resin pour, I decided to go with this glass method. What I'm going to do is, I got this insulation foam. I'm going to cut out a circle. I already took this, put it on here, made an imprint. You can see right there, right? You can see that. I'm going to cut this out, and since this is a thick piece, it's already 1 inch, I'm going to probably cut that in half. I'll have 2 discs. One will go in the bottom, which will anchor the Jason to, and the other one we're going to try to do and seal the top. So what we'll do is we'll fill it with water and seal it up, and then hopefully that'll be good enough for what we're trying to do. Again, a less expensive way than resin. Not as cool by no means, but it is what it is. And to be truthful, you know, later on down the road when I grow up a set of balls and decide to actually try the resin, all I have to do is dump the water out, do the resin, and away we go. So, you know, sitting in water is not going to hurt him. Like I said, the question is going to be is anchoring him down to the bottom, and then also trying to get him to sit. You know, let's see if we can do this. Here, you can see better. This is the way he should sit, with his legs behind the chain, as opposed to when I let him go, he kind of sits like that. So we got to kind of figure a way to get him to stay. And I'm thinking clear acrylic rod attached to his feet should be enough, and it might be enough to be invisible, or kind of invisible to the water. So that's where we are. Be right back. So we're coming down to the wire on our Halloween build, and I'll show you where I'm at. The reason I haven't had a lot of updates because I've been so worried and focused on trying to get things done that I just haven't really had time to do updates on it. But we've got our figure mounted and balanced on our base. We created a base using this styrofoam, this insulation, pink insulation. I use that for a lot of stuff. It's really great material, and that's what's here. Here. Okay, the very bottom base where my thumb is, that's what we got out of it. We cut it down. One of the problems so let me back up a second here. Stop, rewind, record. We marked out where the block was going to be in the foam. We dug out a little bit, so it just had a little bit of a recess in it. We placed glue on the base, covered it with some sand that I have, and then usually, here's the neat part, I see on all these diorama builds, they cover the base with sand, then they take a pipette, a pipette, whatever the hell you want to call it, they fill it with white glue and water, you know, mixture, and then they just kind of drip it along the edge, and it soaks in, and it makes a nice hard surface on the base. Okay, but for some reason with this material, I don't know what the hell the difference is, when I do that, all the glue does is bubble up and sits on top of it. It does not soak into the base. It was a nightmare to actually get glue to soak into this sandy material. But it worked. And really what I ended up doing is I took a broad brush like this, soaked it with the water and glue mixture, and I just kind of blotted it on there, letting it soak in and being careful not to wipe away the sand, because that's what it was doing too. So it was a lot of fun to do that. But like I said, if I just put a drop on it, it would bubble up and roll off. It was just really weird. But we finally got it in place. Then the next thing I wanted to do is once it was in place though, he still would not stand or be supported by just this chain. So what I had to do is I took some clear styrene rod, and I had already put holes in his feet to drain him when I printed him. So those holes were still there, so I just took these rods, just have to be the right size, plucked it into the bottom of his feet, used them as stilts to support him in the back, and that's how that works. Now, if I was using a resin to pour resin in here, they would be virtually invisible. But because I'm only going to be using water, you're probably going to see them, but so be it. It is what it is, right? But now he stands. He's pretty solid. Then we put some plants in there. I went out to the dollar store. I bought these cheap little plants, and I used the grass part of it. It's called grass and feathers. I used the grass part, wrapped them up, put them in there to give a little bit more texture and points of interest on the base. So now they're nice and in place. He was given a clear coat. Let me get me up. Okay. He was given a clear coat, in which after the clear coat was done, I went over and I added just a dry brushing. I used a nice big, I don't have it with me, it's upstairs being cleaned, but it was a nice big makeup type brush that I would draw, a little bit of paint, wipe it all off, blot and dust, and get him all dirty and grimy with some black paint and everything. Okay, give him that dirty look. So he is good to go, I think. Earlier on, I don't know if I mentioned this, I was concerned about his mask, because that's really one of the key features of the character is his mask. And that was that the holes in his mask were very shallow. So it took me a while. I finally found my micro bits, and I was able to drill them out a little bit. Now it's not like grossly obvious, but they're definitely more visible than they were prior to the initial printing. So that's cool. I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, I think now we are ready to get him ready and go into the tank, so to speak. So what we got here is a 4x12, I think it is. 12? 10, 11, 12, yeah. 4x12 vase that I purchased online. Took quite a bit of time to get here, but it got here. So we're going to place him in here and see how he fits. Let's see how this is going to work. I'm kind of nervous about this. Whoa! Oh. Yeah, it gets ugly. Oh, not going to fit. It's a little tight down the bottom. Alright, so I'm going to have to do some work to get him to fit. Okay, and we're back, and I really screwed the pooch here, fellas. I really did. I really thought this cylindrical vase would be the best option for this. I thought it'd be cool. Yeah, I was wrong. Before I get too far, if you remember, I was having a problem when I was putting it in, he only got so far, and what is happening is that the glass up here is thin, where down here it gets thicker. So as much work as I made it so it perfectly fit in here, as it got down here to the thicker glass, it wouldn't fit. So I had to really take my base and hack at it with my Dremel to sand it, make it round, which it really didn't turn out very round. It just got torn up, but the paint kind of hides it. But so that's that. But it just fits. It's squeezed in there, it's sandwiched in there, it's not going anywhere, which is one of the concerns I had, was that maybe he might float to the top after a while, but not the case. He is in there, but good. While I think I'm going to call it done for now, we will be revisiting it. I'm going to go online and order a new vase for it, but a square one this time. And to get him out of here, I mean, this pops off the top. The top will pop off. This will pop off. It's not a big deal. I can drain it. But to get him out of here, I'm going to have to break the glass in order to get that out without destroying the base. But here's the reason why I'm disappointed and upset. See, as it looks cool there, but as I do this, he gets so distorted to the base. It doesn't even look like a square. And I can't even get any good pictures of it. It's just so warped because of the glass. So very disappointed in that. Overall, I mean, the figure itself I was happy with. It came out pretty good. But it's just, yeah, it's not going to work for me. I'm going to have to do something. But the end of the competition for this is tonight, so I think I'm just going to bag it and call it a day. Because like I said, I can't get any good pictures of this to send to the HLI guys. So, you know, it is what it is. And I didn't even take any good pictures of it before I put it in the water, which is stupid of me also. I was in such a rush to get it done. But yeah, so we'll probably see this again another time. Like I said, we're going to take this, we'll drain it, smash the glass, which should be fun to get him out of here, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, that's it. Stay tuned for a video in the future where we will be giving away this figure. This is the other pose. Again, 9 inches tall. He's just looking downward this time. I'll give this away to a lucky fan that wants it. Okay? So stay tuned. We'll see that soon. But until next time, guys, happy Halloween and be strong.